Ilara had a theory. Every big life decision came with its own kind of silence. The decision to move 300 miles away for her new design job? That silence was heavy, like the thick, still air just before a thunderstorm. Her father, Silas, was a man of few words. He communicated not with grand speeches, but in the gentle way he'd polish his old telescope, or in how he made her tea exactly right. 2 sugars, a splash of milk, and a silence that felt like a warm, unspoken permission. Their friendship wasn't built on loud adventures. It was a quiet, steady thing, like 2 planets in parallel orbits. They were simply 2 people, side by side, perfectly content in the shared understanding that they were each other's favorite company. The night before she left, they didn't waste time on painful goodbyes. Instead, they talked about constellations. Silas traced the faint curve of the Big Dipper on her bedroom ceiling with his finger, just as he had when she was a little girl. "The stars are always there, Ilara," he murmured, his voice a low rumble. "Sometimes you just can't see them because the city lights are too bright. It doesn't mean they've moved." He was giving her a map, not just of the sky, but for her new life. 3 weeks later, her new apartment felt like a hollow soundstage, too big, too empty, and filled with the unfamiliar noise of strangers living next door. The city lights were just as her father had said, too bright. They washed out the night sky, and she couldn't see anything familiar, anything that felt like home. So, she called him, not to cry, not to complain, but just to hear the solid, comforting sound of his coffee grinder in the background, a sound that meant her home was still there, operating as usual, waiting for her. He picked up, and after a moment of comfortable silence, he asked, "Did you know that the constellation Lyra contains a tiny, diamond-shaped nebula? It's 2,000 light-years away, but you can see it with a decent pair of binoculars." And in that moment, Ilara understood. He wasn't just talking about stars anymore. He was talking about connection. He was telling her that even though they were 300 miles apart, they could still find the tiny, beautiful shape of their friendship in the vastness. And that was the profound truth of their love, a bond deeper than any simple goodbye. They didn't need to be near to be a family. They only needed to keep looking up, knowing they were sharing the same enormous, star-stitched ceiling. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. See you next time.